How is everybody doing? This is Pyric. I'm back here with another deck. I'm gonna try to take to King Games, and meta's nice and fresh and new, trying out some different stuff. And we got a, big influx of new characters, lots of new cards with the new GX world. And so this is what I've been using. This is what I used all the climb from Legend 1 through 3. And it's a Horus beatdown control deck. Lots of similar normal control elements that we've gotten used to. Heavy Knight of Flame for special summons, Sergeant Electro for back row. And then I have the Horus package. I have 3 level 6s, 3 level 4s, 2 level 6s, and a level 8. Reasons being, you actually never want to draw level 8. Level 6, you kind of want to draw sometimes, but not usually. But you do actually really want to see level 4. For my collection of back row stuff, your metal morphs help your little guys get over big guys, but they can be kind of clunky in multiples. Mirror Wall is strictly defensive. It's really powerful, but it's strictly defensive and doesn't necessarily protect my guys from other stuff and things. Floodgate Trap Hole does similar things to other cards in here, but it can permanently lock down a slot, which is on summon, which is very, very powerful. Enemy Controller being the most flexible of the bunch, being able to be used both offensively and defensively, which is huge, with a big nod for Enemy Controller right now. And a lot of the reason why to play this deck at all is because you want Enemy Controllers specifically to fight Cyber Angels, and that's one of the big reasons to play this deck is to fight Cyber Angels, because Horus level 8 is an actual just beating and an automatic win virtually. He's bigger than everything they can do. Once you have Horus level 8 out, they actually just can't use spells anymore. So Horus level 8 is just straight shuts them down. But you do need all of this other package to level up to Horus level 8, because you need to get your Horus level 4s and your level 6s to actually kill their monsters. Horus level 6 has some of that effect, that he's not affected by spells, but they still can summon ritual monsters, so you really want to hit level 8. But against stuff like Red Eyes and other decks, Horus level 6 kind of gets the job done. Ties That Bind, kind of sort of, it's beatdown for decks that don't run enough big dudes to run beatdown, and that's kind of where we're at here. It's mostly little guys trying to get over big guys, but it synergizes well with the big guys too. So deck's been doing quite well with where the meta's shaken up right now. And let's get into some games here. Let's see if I can get to King Games relatively easily, or crash and burn and be embarrassing. Alright, we're up against a Shizu, and we are going second. That kind of doesn't like going second? Okay, it's a balance. Alright, Balance and a Sonic Bird. This is probably Cyber Angels. Yep, that's Cyber Angels. One of the actually odd situations where going second is useful. But Cyber Angels doesn't run much in the way of back row. So that one piece of back row very likely is Enemy Controller. Ooh. Alright, we're gonna get to level up one level. Let's see what my opponent can pull off next turn. Alright, they got the Petite Angel, so they're going to be able to summon something. So they grabbed Idaten. That means they're probably going to combo off here into a value combo, and it will be bad for me. Let's see what my opponent does. I'm assuming they're grabbing Dakini. So right now my plan is, unfortunately, I can't protect my big bad horse, which is very unfortunate. And the argument could have been made to just play Sergeant Electro there to protect big bad horse. But I'm going to floodgate this Dakini. Unfortunately doesn't save me, but it locks that Dakini dead. Of course, now I draw the enemy controller. And since I don't have a Metamorph, I'm going to pass. Metamorph doesn't really do anything here anyways, because he can just protect his dude, but it would do something. That is unfortunate in our current situation. Skill Angel is a bizarre choice. Really regretting not just playing Electro first. Didn't really think that out. Maybe I'll get lucky at this turn and I'll be able to deck my opponent. Oh well, there goes that plan. Not gonna floodgate him because he can just banish a ritual to save it. I'd like to Mirror Wall it, but again, banish Ritual to save it. I'd rather save the Floodgate for something a little more threatening, like another Dakini, where I can just attack into this with Electro, no problem. The Horus, that Horus level 4 is unbelievably clutch right here. The only draw that would have been better, it would have been Horus level 6 right there. I'm assuming he's just going to banish a Ritual. Alright, so he let him die that time. Let's see what my opponent draws. Currently, all three of their cards in the field are completely locked down, so they can't really do anything. Fantastic. Okay, that's a terrible card to draw. Literally never want to draw that ever. So my opponent still has one more Machine Angel Ritual hiding, which is quite unfortunate. But I do have to, like, eventually try to kill this thing. So now he can start doing something with that Dakini now that it's face up, which is mildly unfortunate, but I still have a whole bunch of back row, and I can't just sit here forever. I mean, I could try, but I don't like the thought of trying to deck him. Heavy Knight's not a bad draw. Divine Wrath, that is interesting. Okay. Well, he freed up his back row now, which is mildly unfortunate. Fantastic. Well, hopefully he doesn't have another Divine Wrath floating back there, otherwise this is going to be bad. Alright, sweet. Not sweet. I'm just gonna hold on to that for right now. Alrighty then, we did it. Slow and steady, we got there. It's kind of how this deck works. Just nice casual combination of a whole bunch of stuff that just sort of does enough. Alright, I didn't notice a skill, so I think he might be D-draw. So he has a card guard. I think I'm gonna do this. I hope I don't get floodgated. Alright, my opponent is having none of it. Ooh. It's tempting to try to tribute him, but I think my best bet right now is to start trying to lock down his back row. Well, that first card he locked down didn't seem to do anything, so we're going to lock down the new one. And it's Mirror Wall, okay. That's perfectly fine. Got him to burn a Mirror Wall. Oh, he paid. That's fantastic. No. There we go. Alright, that's a good draw. So that gives me Metamorph, Mirror Wall, and Floodgate, so I have, like, just the right mix of everything. And let's drop this Heavy Knight. So next turn I have the option of either re-normal summoning my Heavy Knight or bringing out Horus level 6. And we'll kind of just have to see what my opponent comes up with. I'm really curious to what he could D-draw into here. Also be nice if this connection decided to be more stable. That'd be really, really nice. Come on me, please. Alright. Well, my opponent or his connection decided to have enough. I don't think he was coming back from that, though. Pretty much had the trifecta of back row and fore row, so... On to the next game. We have a Seto Kaiba. Going second. Oh, we have a 26 card peak performance Seto Kaiba. And I managed to not draw a single monster. That is glorious. I do like the free extra 200 in attack and defense for my Horuses, though. That's kind of cool. Peak performance does not affect Horus level 6, though, because Horus level 6 specifically says spell cards don't affect him. So that's mildly unfortunate. And another reason to play Ties of Bind. And I drew Horus level 6. That's awkward. So now we have to make the decision of what back row things to play. I'm going to go with this set of back row, because I don't feel like I'm going to want a mirror wall next turn, but I feel like I might use some combination of Econ and or Floodgate, and you always just want to jam your Metamorphs. Yeah, I'll Floodgate the Mirage. I don't have to deal with it now. This is kind of... Oh, I don't really need to use the Econ here. But if I draw a monster to kill that, it's much easier with him in defense anyways. Oh, this is bad. So this is the severe downside of running monsters you can't cast or summon. Yeah, I could really use a Horus level 4 or a Sergeant Electro. Oh, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. This path to King Games is going to be stopped by a brick, is what it's looking like. Alright, Heavy Knight of Flames, good. This isn't good. Pretty much have to attack this Gaia. And then hope my opponent just doesn't do anything. Whew! Not out of the woods, that's for sure. Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, you know, sometimes you put unsummonable monsters in your deck and sometimes you draw them. That is what can happen, and then you can lose to 26 card peak performance. In Legend 3, I might add. So he might just have the dankest 26 card peak performance deck. Oh no, he was Legend 1, but... yeah. Alright, on to the next game. We have another Seto Kaiba. I'm going first this time. In theory, Horus number 4 is the one that you want to set first, because I have defensive things, and you actively hope that they attack into it, and you can mirror wall them. In practice, it often doesn't work like that. So we'll see what happens. My opponent isn't peak performance. I have a feeling my opponent is on beatdown, which probably implies red eyes. Alright, well, that was an interesting start. That could be potentially good. I think it's better to get the Electro down first and start putting in work. And then if nothing relevant gets drawn next turn, I can tribute out the level 6. Let's see what my opponent has up their sleeve. Alright, it is a Windstorm. I accept your Windstorm. Alright, well my opponent apparently had enough in a very short order. Oddly, that's been happening a lot with this deck, where my opponents are like, they have an Electro and a Horus and back row, and I give up. Alright, we got ourselves a Mako opponent. Let's see what flavor of Mako opponent we have. Alright, we have Mythic Depths. So I'm going to assume it's a Hammer Shark deck. Mythic Depths is pretty bad for this guy right here. And if he's running Starboy, this is going to hurt. Oh, I hate drawing that card. I hate it a lot. Let's drop the Swag Heavy Knight down first and see what's up. I mean, I'm assuming that they're Mako and they set a face down, so it's probably Yomi ship, and this is going to suck, but we'll find out. It is in fact Yomi ship, and oh well. Let's see what my opponent has up his sleeve now. Ooh, we have Be a Tunaful Princess into Hammer Shark. Into Lost Blue Breaker. Let's see if he sacks the Blue Breaker. Does not sack the Blue Breaker. I think I don't want to take 1,000,000 damage this turn, so we're going to do this. Kind of locked into playing the Heavy Knight because the Electro, unfortunately, is tiny thanks to this Yumi. That is very painful and unfortunate, but not to be expected. Alright, well, that hurt a little bit. But, got a pretty good cross-section of games in there, actually. And, I mean, drawing the level-up cards is one of the big downsides to playing level-up cards. Even though Horus level 6 is a playable card on its own, it's still a tribute monster, and tribute monsters have downsides. But the games where you usually draw a good mix, and you're against some, like the decks that you're trying to fight, which in this case, this deck is mostly trying to fight stuff that's kind of, you know, special stun and spamming. that stuff that relies on a lot of spells or, you know, special summon monsters. Whereas something like Mako is going to give me a bit more trouble because they're going to be just bringing out dudes and playing a bunch of back row. So one of the biggest weaknesses of this deck is, like, this deck doesn't want to fight something like Mirror Wall ever. But all in all, when you draw a good mix of your stuff, you generally do quite well with the deck. The deck's been very powerful, and overall has had a pretty solid win rate for me. Let me know if anybody else gives it a whirl, and maybe card choices that you might like or whatever. Hit it up in the comments, and thanks guys for checking this out. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.